Well, hello everybody, Jason up, New Age Revolution Cave. And this is a bit of a jump start of the soon to be returning TN80s half hour or so power hour, where you, the most important part of this channel, get to be a part of the show. That's right. You get to send me your questions, anything you want to know about me, and I answer them here on the show. And you get a little shout out and some props for the content and the contributing to the content. It's a well loved show here on the channel. But it only exists when you guys ask the questions. Now, there are no parameters for the questions. Lots of people like to send what I will refer to as softball questions. What's your favorite color? And what's your doggy's name? And those are fine. Those are fun. But you are certainly welcome to ask me anything you want. The only thing that I probably shouldn't talk about is something that I wouldn't want the children to see, and that really would pertain to, that kind of thing. So we can't talk about, So anything else? Anything else? I like talking about the deep stuff. I like talking about the emotional stuff. So whatever you want to know about me, about the collection, about life, about history, about mental health, feel free. Feel free. I'll give you all that information later. But the show, the Power Hour, pretty much is going to get kicked off tonight, because somebody in the comments on a completely unrelated video to the Power Hour, a friend of the channel called 80s Country Kid. 80s Country Kid. Now, I don't know if that means that in the 80s he lived in the country, lived in the old backwoods, had fun growing up, like that, playing in tree houses, tree forts, getting bit by mosquitoes or whatever. I don't know if 80s Country Kid means he's a fan of 80s country music. That would be interesting. A little Conway Twitty. Is Conway Twitty country? Yeah, he's got to be with a name like Conway Twitty. Little Loretta Lynn. George Jones, is he country from the 80s? Dolly Parton. I don't know. But 80s Country Kid asked me a question. And it was on the video that I did. I think it was a recent video. So it was about trying to complete collections. Maybe it was when I was running around getting those Batman figures. But it was related to, the video was kind of talking about chasing down toys. And to unofficially kick off the Power Hour, 80s Country Kid says, hey, Jason, and this is in the comments, here's a topic I'm interested to hear your take on. So I shall read, and then we shall discuss. When you finish chasing down a collection you've been trying to complete, how do you feel? One thing I've noticed based on my collecting is once I've finished a collection or a set, after a short period of excitement, I get that not so fresh feeling about it. Oh yes, we all hate that not so fresh feeling. He gets the not so fresh feeling about it. No matter what it is. He's excited for a little while. Then he's not so thrilled. I just have to move on to the next thing. And my enthusiasm diminishes somewhat for the completed collection. Yes, even for my beloved LJNs. All right, so great topic that I think opens the door for so many more questions. Maybe the ultimate question that comes out of your question is, why do we collect? And I've tried to address that several times on the channel. Why do we collect? What's so great about nostalgia? And why do we need to surround ourselves with our childhoods? I think we all have different answers for that one, and that's probably a deeper Power Hour question. But so why are you collecting the Masters of the Universe line? What's the point of collecting it for you? When you get the final piece, you step back and you look at it, and then you go, all right, well, off to Ghostbusters now. So I can absolutely relate to that. Obviously I can't say we. I, as a collector, experience what I would qualify as anxiety. Stress and anxiety when it comes to finding what I need, finding what I want. Example, and this wasn't even something I was really interested in, but last week, my good close personal friend and I, Tansky and I were going to go to a Rochester Red Wings game because it was Seinfeld night, and I actually met David Puddy. That's right. I think he has a real name, Patrick something or other, but he's really just David Puddy. So that was cool. But the game started, or the signing started at 5:45, right? So we decided that we needed to be there at about 4:45. Well, at 3:45, I left my house and drove to Target because I needed to find those $4.49 Batman figures. And when I got to one of the Targets, they only had 2 figures, 2 out of 4. So I bought those 2 figures. And now I should be headed to the game, time-wise. I should be going there. But the anxiety of collecting, even a line I wasn't interested in, the anxiety of collecting said, you only have 2 of the 4. They're on clearance. They're going to be gone. And then you got to go buy them for like $12 off eBay. So you've got to go to another Target. And I only had like 30 minutes to get to I ended up being at the game unnecessarily early, and it was like 100 degrees out. Totally different story. But in my brain, I only had like 30 minutes to get to the game, but I was going to fly to another Target. I was going to like go as fast as I could to another Target, run into the store, go through the toy aisle real quick, see if they had the last 2 figures, get the heck out of there, head to the game, hope I'm not late. Because the anxiety of collecting said you have to get these 2 figures remaining before they're gone. So I did. And the whole time I'm like, come on, red light, come on, I'm swerving around people to try to get in and I like almost literally ran from the parking lot to the store. And they only had 1 of the figures. They had 1 of them. So now I had 3 out of the 4. Well, now anxiety of collecting is taking over. So what do I do? And I'm admitting this. I'm ashamed, I'm embarrassed, but I'm admitting it. Don't worry, I'm gonna return it. But I went on Target.com, and the last figure I needed was Robin. Well, Target.com does not match the prices of clearance in the store. So this figure was $8.99 on Target.com, and I ordered it and paid $8 shipping. So for $16 or $17, I ordered a Robin that was $4.49 on clearance because the collecting anxiety told me to. Now, here's to your point. I got them home. I put them in my little case. I looked at them, and then I started to hate them. Hated them. Left them in the case. Woke up the next morning, came out, to go to my office or whatever. Stopped in the garage and just looked at them, and I was like, these don't belong here. The hunt, the thrill, the chase, that was awesome. Now I have them. I don't want them. And most of you who tuned in the other day know that I returned them. Now, the Robin is supposed to be here tomorrow. I will return that also. And that be that. And I won't do that again, I don't think. But so I talked long about that, but I said that the new Power Hour was going to be deep dives into a single question or two or three. So that's what happens. Now, where am I at with this stuff? Well, the Ghostbusters is kind of done. I did receive confirmation that my other landing gear for the Ecto Bomber has shipped. So I have that. It'll come, and I'll have an anxiety. And when I say anxiety, I'm not talking like legitimate mental health issues, right? I'll have a collector's anxiety to put it all together. And I've already decided that I want to hang the Ecto Bomber. So I will have an urge. I will have almost a real desire, a need to get some fishing line and hook it up. And then I'll just step back and I'll look at it. And then I will turn around and turn the light off and go upstairs. Yeah, that is what I will do as a collector. And then we'll move on and we'll get more He-Man vehicles. And I will take them out of the box, take them out of the eBay shipping box. I will open it. I will look at it. I will talk to you about it. I will put it on a shelf. I will look at it and turn around and turn the light off and go upstairs. So I think that collecting is a lot about the chase. It's a lot about the quest to get our hands on the item. Because when we have the item, we're done. We're not playing with this stuff for the most part. Now, as a kid, I had that same anxiety about going into Toys R Us, looking for Terry Funk, looking for SD Jones, getting them, being super pumped, and then continuing that super pumped for several more years because I would play with the figures, right? So I wouldn't get Terry Funk home, take him out of the package, set him on a shelf, and then walk out of my bedroom. Oh, no. No. He would be in every single match for the next 2 or 3 weeks. So I miss that part of collecting. I miss the part where I'm engaging with this stuff on a regular basis. Now, the LJNs are sitting over there. The ring is sitting there. That's probably the only toy that I would actually play with. And nothing's stopping me from that. Nothing's stopping me. I could easily grab them, and I could take this as far as I wanted. I could bust out the storylines that I had 30 years ago. 30 years ago, I'd been 19. I don't know, 35, 36, 37 years ago. I haven't lost the memories of them. I could start right up again. I could start all new stuff with a more mature wrestling brain. I could do that. Sure, no problem. My back might hurt, but I could easily play with those. But something's stopping me from doing that. I don't know what it is. I assume maturity, but I could. But I wish that I still engaged like that, and that excitement for something continued on. But as adult collectors, I think the excitement is the chase. Because again, realistically, we're not playing with this. So what else can we do? Where does it end? It ends with the purchase, right? For some of the turtle stuff, there was anxiety to put it together. I needed to do that. And I would be at work and like the pizza thrower, or what else is up there? Oh, definitely the Technodrome. I would just sit the box like on my dining room table, and I'd go to work, and all day I was excited to come home and put together the Technodrome, right? Then I set it up on the shelf. I put the box on the shelf. And that's it. There's nothing else to do. I can't play Turtles anymore. There's nothing else to do. I'm done. We're done. And as collectors, we can't be done. We can't be done. What happens when we're done? Right? If you're a collector, you're going to keep collecting forever. You might change it up a little. I've had so many like flip-flops in my mind about what am I collecting. And it was WWF magazines for a while, and I was all hot and heavy into that. And VHS, then it was taped off TV VHS. Those things are still here, and I still like them, and it'll probably come around again, and I'll probably get more into VHS, or I'll see how many magazines I really need, and I'll hunt them down. And I'm glad about that because I don't want this to ever stop. But as collectors, we need to have the next thing, because as adults, we reach a point where that's it. The Technodrome's on the shelf. I put it together. I set up the figures. That's it. If I stopped there, I'd be done. So now I move on. Now we're going to do He-Man. I'm already sort of looking past He-Man and just really just trying to imagine what that G.I. Joe world is going to be like. And that's really going to be great. And then once that's done, I'm already thinking of more toy lines to look into because I just want to keep it going. So, yes, whatever your question was, that's the answer. Again, the Power Hour deep dive version is going to be what I just did. A lot of thought and all that. So, a reminder, the Power Hour is back, but not without you. So I did get a list of questions from a good, close, personal friend of the channel from afar, and he sent them, and I'll identify, I'll say his first name or so when, Ryan, my friend Ryan, sent a whole bunch of very nice questions, fun questions, LJNs, which pay-per-view do you want to be at, that kind of thing. And I will answer them in a little bit of a deeper dive format, because I think that's what you want. You wouldn't be taking part in this if you didn't want to know some stuff about the answers. So let's do it. Let's do the Power Hour. Now, how do you get the questions to me? Multiple different ways. Facebook Messenger. If you're if you're on the Facebook, you can send me a friend request. I'll accept your friend request, and then you can message me on Facebook Messenger. I don't post anything but once a 6 months on Facebook, and I'm probably not going to engage and like and heart and everything, because I'm not on Facebook. I just follow like Comic-Con so I can get guest updates. But that's the way you can communicate with me. You can send an email to one of two emails. They're both simple. One is Jason_Knupp, Knupp, @yahoo.com. Jason_Knupp. The other one is jasonnup76@gmail.com. So one is Yahoo, one is Gmail. jasonnup76@gmail.com. That's it. That's how you get the questions to me. If you write them in a comment section, I might not remember that they were in the comment section. So don't leave them in the comment section because I won't see them. I'll see them when I read it, and then it's gone. It's gone. So send it through email. And if you want to be identified on the channel, I will say who sent it to me. If you don't want to be identified and you want to have an alias, then I will alias you. If you have a YouTube channel and you'd like me to speak about it and let the masses know, you can include that also. And maybe we'll do something bigger with the communication at some point. Maybe we'll have maybe you can send in video questions. The Fighting Campbell brothers are absolutely well-renowned, world-renowned for their video questions. They are two of the best brothers, commenters, hilarious. I love the Campbell brothers. They've sent in video questions. It's so good. So if you want to send a video question, figure out how to get it to me, email, whatever. Maybe down the road we'll have more of a interaction, a one-on-one interaction, a live power hour maybe. But that's our live show anyway that we haven't done in forever. We'll do that. I'm all done now. Power hour's back, but not until you send the questions. Get them over to me. We'll see you next time. Good night now.